First things first, thank you all for joining. This training is for Engage, which is our virtual involvement fair that's happening next week. This is an event that's the first of its kind. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do something like this before, so you all are making history at ASU. In these crazy times, I think that's something cool to hang our hats on. Something to just keep in mind as we move forward into the next week. It's up to you all to try to get participants and attendees to come to this event through just posting on your social media pages. We have it included in our newsletters and all that kind of stuff, but I think you all sending it out and inviting people to come is the best way to do it. So if you haven't received an email from me or from Tempe Clubs with a graphic that I just had on the screen and some of our promo videos, feel free to contact Tempe Clubs at asu.edu and we can certainly get that sent to you. But we'll be sending out another email tomorrow with this recorded Zoom meeting and a bunch more information on how to move forward with setting up your booth and how to market the event. That being said, thank you so much for coming today. I'm going to pass this over to Andrew Layton and Natasha Shields from Excel Events so they can walk you through the platform and show you what to do.
Okay, so I'm now sharing my screen. Can I just get some thumbs up so I can make sure you guys are seeing my screen correctly? Awesome, sounds good. Okay, great. So what you guys are currently looking at is what we call the exhibitors portal. So once you receive your email from us, there's going to be a link that says access the site and it will bring you here and you'll be able to log in with your same email and password that you have already set up. So just to go over the exhibitor portal, this is sort of the step before you enter the virtual event hub. And the virtual event hub is where you're going to be able to see other people's booths and where you can interact with other people who are going to join your booth. So right here we have the setup tab, and this is where you're able to enter the information that's going to be displayed in your booth to your attendees. So you'll see you have the option to update your logo. If you do plan on doing a live stream, right here for stream provider from the drop-down menu, you're just going to choose Zoom and you'll just paste your URL right in there. I have an example URL for you guys just so that you guys see what it's going to look like. And it's actually going to be the URL for this Zoom that we're currently on. So when you have a Zoom URL, you have the entire thing. What you're going to need to enter is going to be just these numbers after the J. So after the J/, I'm just going to delete everything else. And that's going to be what you're going to be adding to your booth. Right below that, you do have the option to add a video URL. This is up to you. It can be a YouTube video, Wistia, or Vimeo. But also right below that, if you have an actual video file, you can also just add that in the exhibitor description. And then just below that, you do also have the option to add any of your social media links, or if you have any documentations that you would like for anyone visiting your booth to be able to download, you can add that here, as well as any links. Aside from that, just going back to the navigation tab on the left side, we have the team tab, and this is where you're able to add members to your team. So you will see that you have a limit of 3 people that you can add to your team. So everyone who's receiving an email with access to their booth, they'll be able to add 2 other people because they also count as a staff member in their booth. And then right below that, you'll see the leads. So you'll be able to see anytime someone chats in your booth or anything like that. So just because we're in the exhibitor portal, for you to get to the virtual event hub, you'll have this Enter Expo button right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click it, and this will bring you directly into the virtual event hub. Very specifically, it's going to bring you to the Expo booth where you are able to see all of your booths. You'll see that this is called Organizations and Sponsors. But everything that you're seeing right here is what people visiting the virtual event hub are going to see. Just because I've been using this Ask Me booth as an example, I'm just going to go ahead and click into it. So you'll see when you click into the booth, all of the same information that we saw on the exhibitor portal that was entered, you're going to see it right here as well. And just to go over a couple things in this booth, on the right side here is your general booth chat. So anyone who visits your booth, they'll be able to send you a message here. And on the back end, as the exhibitor admin, you'll be able to see those messages come in and respond. Also, just scrolling down a bit, your staff members or students who are entered as exhibitor admins in the booth, they will be listed right here at the bottom. So attendees will be able to send you a private message if they're interested in just having a private chat directly one-on-one with you instead of just writing in the general chat. This is where they can view their documents and links that you've entered. And then also you'll see this live tab right here. Oops, I think I have something turned on that I should not. All right, I'm just going to turn this off and do a refresh. Awesome. So once you have your Zoom meeting link entered, this is what it's going to look like for anyone visiting your booth. Because it is through Zoom, they will just need to enter their name, click that they are not a robot, and then they'll be able to join your Zoom meeting. So this is what the people visiting your booth are going to be able to see. For you guys, so that you can chat with people and answer your private messages, you will have access to this My Booth tab. So I'm just going to click into it right now. And I did see that there are a couple of you guys who do have access to multiple booths. So anyone who has access to multiple booths, you will see this drop-down menu right here at the top, just so that you can easily toggle between your different booths. I'm just going to click into this one right here, Adventurers Wanted, to show you guys as an example. This is going to be your leads list. So any leads that come through, this is where you can see that. But I think where you guys are going to be spending a lot of your time is going to be right here in the chat with a lead tab. So this is where you have your channels and direct messages. So channels are going to be any of the chats in the virtual event hub that you have access to. So this will include your booth general chat. So right now I'm in Adventures, so that's going to be the first one that you see here. Any other exhibitor booths that you enter, you'll have access to that general chat, so you'll also see them on this list. And any sessions that you join, you'll also be able to see these chats here. So this is sort of a central place for you to navigate between your different chats that you have. And if anyone sends you a private message, they're going to live right here under the direct messages. I apologize, I didn't have any set up in advance so that I can show you, but this is what it would look like. And just to go over the other tabs, company details, you'll see that this is a exact replica of what we saw in the exhibitor portal. So you are able to sort of make changes on the fly if you need to, and that's really just what it is. So you do have the option to either set up your booth in the exhibitor portal, or you can do it right here through the My Booths tab. Because we have different fields here, depending on what information you enter will determine the tabs that are available. So for example, if you do not add a promo video URL, there will not be an additional tab in your booth for your video URL. Same thing with the description, the offer, which I don't believe you guys are going to be using, so you can just remove any information here as well. And same thing, you can add your social media links, you can add your documents and any links here as well. And the team tab, just like what we saw on the back end, this is where you can add people to your team or not. The products tab is really not anything that you guys are going to be using, so we're just going to skip right over that. Another thing just to mention is any notifications that you guys receive. So if someone requests to connect with you or they want to schedule a meeting with you, these notifications will show up right here. So we have this little bell icon. So as they come in, you'll get a notification at the top. It'll be showing as a red circle, and you'll be able to click into it and either accept any connection request or any meetings. If you do end up scheduling a meeting, they would live right here in this calendar tab as well. Just one other thing to mention, when you guys are in the virtual event hub, you are able to set up your profile, and you can do that right here. So you'll see it says hello, and then it'll say your name. You can just click right into it. And this is the screen where you'll be brought to where you can update your name if it's incorrect, and where you can also upload your photo so that when you are chatting with people or people seeing your name in your booth, they'll also be able to see a photo of you. Okay, so that is pretty much all that you guys need to do to set up your booth, and all the fun stuff is going to come next Wednesday when your event is live and everyone is visiting you in the booth. So I'm not sure if there are any questions, but this would be a great time to just open this up for any questions you guys have. Okay, I see Andrew's answering a lot of these questions. I'm not sure if there's anything that I missed.
Hi, I was wondering if I could ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what is the difference between team and leads? So you had mentioned how on the team there can only be a max of, again, correct me if I'm wrong, like 3 or 4 members. So then will that technically be kind of like our quote unquote e-board, and then the leads would be our organization members? Could you clarify on that a little bit?
Of course. So the members of your team, kind of exactly like what you said, it'll be people in your booth who will have access to chat with people. So anyone that you enter here on the team on the exhibitor side, they will be listed as your booth's representatives. So they will be the people that anyone visiting your booth, they will be able to send them a private message or schedule a meeting with them. So the leads are going to be anyone who interacts with your booth. So anyone who sends you guys a private message or sends a message in the private chat or downloads any of the documents you've created, you'll be able to see a list of anyone who's interacted with your booth. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that did. Thank you so much.
Of course. Okay, I see Tamara has a question about the contacts that show up anywhere in the booth. So no contact information will show up in the booth. However, when you're chatting with anyone, if you do want to share any of your contact information, you can do that.
I did actually have a question. Just in regards to this actual Zoom recording, will it be emailed out automatically to the email, or was there a place that we would go to get the link for this?
I believe Tessie mentioned that it will be included in a follow-up email that she's going to send out to you guys tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Hi there. On the day of the event, will there be anyone on staff during it? If we run into any questions or technicality issues, will there be someone we can contact?
On the day of the event, we'll have Ask Me booths set up. So you'll just have to look for that Ask Me button. This is the booth that we're in right now, I believe. You'll be able to go in there and ask questions to either staff or some students that are going to be knowledgeable about the platform as well.
Thank you.
Will we be able to access a live version of this so we could like train others on our team with what it will look like the night of the event?
Yeah, so once you guys have access, you can go in and you can start being trained, or you can share with other people who's going to be in your booth. You can start training them on how to set everything up as well. So right now it is available for you guys to go in and you can toggle between your My Booth and the organizations and sponsors tab.
And not just the back end, but we can see it from the front.
No, in order to see this right now, just because the event is not live yet, you would just need to go through the exhibitor portal.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hi, I had a question about what link we're supposed to give out to students and kind of put on our socials in order for them to get into this event.
Right, so that'll just be the event URL, and that can be something that Tessie shares with you guys.
Okay, thank you.
I'm putting it in the chat right now.
I just want to jump in real quick because I've just seen a couple common questions popping in. The number of staffers or administrators or whatever you'd like to call them allowed in your booth is going to be a total of 3. So yourself and 2 other of your members of your organization. The other is that I'm seeing a lot is some folks have not gotten their email just yet. And I'm starting to see some people emailing me. You will get this by the end of the day today, or rather tonight. Just a slow process that we're bleeding out right now. But if you don't have it by tomorrow, then please do email us. But I would say at this point, about 400, so about 80% of the booths should have already gotten it.
Hi, I had a question about the Ask Me booths.
Mm-hmm.
With the Ask Me booths, are they for both attendees and exhibitors, or would the Ask Me booths be specifically for the exhibitors? Or would there be some Ask Me booths specifically for technical questions or issues that they may have on their side?
The Ask Me booths are more targeted towards attendees, but there will be staff logged on. So we're going to pop into booths as often as we can. Andrew and Natasha might know better about how staff can support the exhibitors on the back end. I'll let them talk about that.
I'm sorry, would you mind just asking that question one more time? I didn't catch the whole thing. Sorry about that.
I was wondering if there's more back-end support, or if the Ask Me booths were going to be helping with the back-end for exhibitors for technical issues.
Got it. The Ask Me booth is going to be, I would say, Brandon and Tessie more heavily the kind of just general event questions and things like that. Our 24/7 support team will be standing by, but I would guess that most questions will be able to be answered by the Ask Me booth. But we are there to support you should there be any additional questions.
Andrew, could you mention how they can reach out to your support team during the event if they have any technical issues?
Yes, they can just go right to our website, excelevents.com, and hit the live chat right there. And we'll ensure that there's enough reps available that some of them are bored. So there should be plenty of people ready to go.
I had a question about at the bottom of the booths where it says company representatives, there's like, each person has like an away icon on them. How do you get that to be like green or active?
Yep. So just as long as you're in the booth, then it will show as available. So if you're in your booth right here, anywhere in this tab, you will be shown as available.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about the live Zoom. Are we going to be able to, so we have 3 staff members in the booth, like with a chat function and everything, but on the live Zoom, it'll be a normal Zoom call and we can have more club members in that, correct?
Yes, you can. As long as they have the Zoom link, then they can join and you can have multiple people in that Zoom meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I had a question about moderating the chats. Will our team leads, our staff be able to delete messages that may be inappropriate that pop up in the chat rooms, or will we need to get further support for something like that?
Yep. So if you're one of the staff members in the booth, you will have access to delete chats. If you don't, definitely just let us know.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have a question. I was wondering if there would be some sort of cover picture or something to the club for this Engage. I know the cover picture will probably be what draws the most people into your club, so that's something that I'd like to work on if there is one.
So within your booth, you can have an image. So right now we just have our Excel Events default image here, but you are able to change that. So right within your booth, under company details, you can just update your logo.
Okay, awesome. So the logo is the cover page that people will see when they're browsing through all the clubs.
That's correct.
Cool. Sounds good. Thank you.
This question might be for Tessie, but how are we supposed to advertise to like incoming freshmen who may not already have access to information from our club or anything like that? Or is that something you guys are going to be doing on the back end?
We're going to be working with housing a lot next week, since housing has a lot of incoming Sun Devils living in the dorms this weekend. And we also have been asking orientation to mention this too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, we've reached out to all of the colleges to promote it, as well as admissions to promote it to all incoming students.
So there's basically 2 ways to interface with possible club members. One is through the chat on our page, and then there's also through the Zoom meeting that we have. So that Zoom meeting is we can format it however we want. So we could have breakout rooms with each of the officers, and then the Ask Me booth is just for people coming to, or sorry, the Ask Me booth is for people in the event in general, but the chat that we have, that's for students coming to our booth, and then we say hey, join our Zoom meeting, and then in that Zoom meeting they can talk to whoever they want. That kind of the flow.
I'm so sorry. Can you just ask that question one more time? It cut out a bit for me.
Oh, no problem. I was just saying, so the idea is that if I was a potential attendee, I would see my club, click it, and then go to the chat room and then talk to somebody there. And if I wanted to engage further, I would join the Zoom call and then could speak to the officers via Zoom.
Exactly. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And those Zoom meetings can be held however we want. So we could have breakout rooms where they could talk to a specific officer or somebody responsible for a certain part of our club.
So I don't believe that you will be able to use the breakout room function. However, if you did want to have a one-on-one conversation with one of the officers in the booth, you can definitely encourage them to send you a private message or schedule a meeting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, I had a question about admitting potential students into our Zoom meeting. Would we be able to have a waiting room for them so we're not just talking to multiple people at one time and we can admit them as we finish having a conversation, or do they all have to be admitted as they come?
So those are settings that you can set up in Zoom. So if you do enable a waiting room when you add the link to your booth, it'll be the same. So as they're joining, they will be entered into the waiting room until you accept them in.
But we can't use the breakout room function.
Correct.
All right.
Hi, I have another question. So the Zoom, we set that up using like we would normally, right? Like just through our ASU Zoom?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So following on to that, if we're setting it up like we regularly do, is there a particular reason why breakout rooms aren't going to be facilitated? I just know our group is really large, so that would be really helpful.
Yep. So it's really just at the moment when embedding the Zoom into our platform, the breakout function is not available.
Okay. Okay.
I had a question regarding the leads. It seems that whenever you try to add a lead, there's like this rating thing that comes up. So for example, when you go to leads, it says first name, last name, email, phone number, and note, and then rating, and it's hot, warm, cold. What exactly is that, and how do we go about using that?
Yeah, so that's really something for you. You can change it warm, hot, warm, or cold. So if you're having a really engaging conversation with a student that you feel that they are very likely to join you, you can change their rating to warm. Or if you're having a conversation with someone and they're just asking a few questions and you're not sure if it's a good fit or anything like that, then you can change their rating to cold or warm.
Got it. So whatever rating that we end up putting, they're not going to be like on our end, essentially?
That's correct. It will be only visible to you on your leads list. It will not be visible to the students on the other end.
I see. And then are these leads, the leads, again, just to clarify, are students that come into our booth and then they can sign up with us, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi there. Will all attendees be funneled directly to like the main lobby page, or will that link at the top send them directly to our booth? Is that possible?
Yeah, so if you share your URL when you're in your booth and you send it to one of your students, they will be brought directly into your booth. So for example, let's have this load here. So I'm just going to click into the Ask Me booth. So this URL right here. So if you share that with someone in the virtual event hub or even outside of the virtual event hub, they will be brought to this screen right here.
Cool. Thank you. Is that link customizable?
It is not.
All right. Thank you.
So I also have a question on this. You said you will work with the housing and orientation, right? For advertising this Engage. So I would assume you will also send some URL to them, right? So I guess I want to know what kind of what is a landing page for the freshmen to come to this event?
The link that you will be using to get onto this event is called links.asu.edu/engage. And that will direct you to a page that includes a lot of other welcome events and some other signature events that you can then access them through that landing page. So the one link will take you to all the welcome events next week.
Oh, I see. So that that is the journey of the students, right? I guess what you showed here is like more the journey for the admin for the clubs. But when a student come, they will first come to that page, host all the welcome events, and the student will probably click the link for engage, and will come to this engage page, right?
Yep.
And
Make sure that they go between the hours of 7 and 9 o'clock next Wednesday, because that's when the event will be live.
Sure, I see. And another question is, will this, let's see if we create some, like we put some contents for our club on the Engage, like this website. Will this be used for the whole semester, or it's only be used for this like one day, like a virtual pass one night?
You will have access to this for 30 days after the event. But after that, you'll have to make sure you've downloaded all of your information and saved everything.
Got it. 30 days. I see. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
We're also encouraging you to, folks to go to Sun Devil Sync from this directly. So that's your web page in here. And so continuing engagement with student organizations after those 30 days, hopefully can be in Sun Devil Sync.
Okay, Sun Devil Sync is another place where we can put our like club information, like build our own like homepage, the websites for the club. Is that a correct understanding?
Yes, that is correct.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
I had a question about the Zoom. Besides the breakout room function, are there any other normal functions on that Zoom that won't be available because we're going through this portal?
I believe it's only the breakout room function that's not available. So for example, anyone who joins, they'll still be able to turn their audio and communicate with you guys. Not everything needs to be through chat, but yeah, I believe it's only the breakout room function that's not available.
All right, thank you so much.
So I'm sorry, I'm joining just a few minutes late. Well, I joined a few minutes late earlier, but as far as the leads tab or the leads page, is anyone who enters your booth like automatically added to that, or is that something that we have to ask people to sign up for, or we add their information? How does that work?
So when they join your booth, they are not automatically captured as a lead and added to your list. In order for them to be added to your list, they would either need to send a message in your chat or send you a private message or interact with this request a meeting button or download a document.
Okay, awesome. So as soon as they interact, though, they're added to that.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, could you correct me if I'm wrong, just to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly? So basically, like we can have at maximum 3 team members during the Engage event, and they're mainly like manning the chats. But we can have as many folks as we want, like inside the Zoom meeting that students can also go to.
Is it okay if I ask a question about the lists that was just mentioned?
Yeah.
So would the list just be a list of email addresses so we can add them to our emailing list later on?
Yep, so it'll have their first name, last name, email address. If they've entered any other information in their attendee profile, such as title or anything like that, that will also be added in the leads list.
Okay, great, thank you.
I have a quick question. So the only like information that we need to enter besides like our Zoom link and the description and everything for allowing like our people to chat with other people is just putting them on our team list?
Yep, that's correct. So it's really just adding any information that you'd like to your booth. So just your Zoom link, a description if you're interested, and at the very least, just other members to your team so that they can also interact with attendees or other students.
Cool, thank you.
How do you view the booth as if you were someone attending the event, like how you have it right now?
You would just go to this tab that says organizations and sponsors. And then once it loads, you'll be able to see a full list of all of the booths, and you can simply just click into any one. I see
Okay,
a bunch of you
perfect.
guys
Thank
have
you.
already updated your logos. That's awesome. You guys are quick.
Can we visit this list and look at these prior to the event starting?
Yep, you sure can.
So do I understand that when a student, before they join the portal, they will fill out some basic information before they enter?
Are you asking about participants or
Participant.
organization leaders?
Participant.
Participants, this will be behind single sign-on, and so students will have to enter in their ASU right to get into this platform. So that should be all that they need to enter.
So it
Okay,
won't necessarily autofill any of their information when they request a meeting?
Their email address and name and information, that stuff should pull over from ASU, right?
So whatever's included there.
But no like grade information or anything like that. So it won't say like what their standing is.
No. It will just be name and email.
Okay.
That'd be pretty funny though, but no.
I had a question about exactly what the meetings were, because it said that you can like maybe add meetings or schedule meetings. Is that just to talk to people individually, or is that like any club events that you already had scheduled for the semester that you can add there?
So it'll be for you to have a private video chat with someone in the booth. So for example, I'm sorry, I don't think I even went over it at all, so thanks for this question. So right here, when you have the company representatives, you have the send them a private message, and then you can also request a meeting with them. So that's when you can select the date and you can select the time, and it will send them a meeting request for them to either accept or deny, and that'll be the request or the meeting that's going to be under this calendar invite.
Okay, and then when you do that, does it just use like set up the meeting within the Zoom link that you've uploaded to your booth page?
So it would not be a meeting within Zoom, it would be a meeting within the platform. So you would be having a private video message with them inside the platform.
Okay.
There's some people asking about the difference between admin and lead retriever. Can you explain the difference?
Yeah, of course. So I'm just going to go to my booth really quickly. So a lead retriever, they will be able to see the leads list and they will have access to this chat with a lead option. So they'll be able to communicate with anyone who sends a message in your chat. And of course, people will be able to direct message them. And that's what a lead retriever has access to. If you are a exhibitor admin, you will also have access to the company details tab and the team tabs. So as an exhibitor admin, you still have the leads in the chat with the lead tab, but then you're also able to set up your event details or make changes and also add people to your team.
Can I just add something real quick to that? Because we had an issue this morning. Whenever you get the email to get into your booth, do not change your title from exhibitor admin to lead retriever, because if you change that, you won't be able to edit your booth anymore. And we'll have to update that for you on the back end. If you have more than one person in your booth, that might make it different, but just keep in mind that if you are an exhibitor admin, you are also a lead retriever, so you don't need to change it to lead retriever.
And just one other thing, just because I saw this question come through, whether you are a exhibitor admin or a lead retriever, that still counts towards the number of 3 people that you can have as staff in your booth.
I have a question. I was wondering how we would be able to change the tags for our club.
Do you mean the category that your club is in?
Yes, the category.
So that's something that Brandon and Tessie and that team set up for you guys. So you need to reach out to them and let them know what it should be or what it should have been.
We've done that based on what the submission was. Everyone who submitted a request to be part of this program also submitted what category they wanted to be a part of. We are limited to just one category in this specific case. And if that is the wrong category, or if you want to switch to another one, then please email us at tempeclubs@asu.edu.
And I just want to jump in one more time just to answer the couple questions I keep saying. If you have not gotten your email yet to get into your booth, I repeat, if you have not gotten your email yet to get into your booth, please wait until tomorrow morning at the earliest to reach out, as we're still adding them in, and you should be getting your email as your booth is added. And once you do get that email, you'll have access to do everything Natasha just showed you. A lead retriever is somebody who is just kind of the staffer in the booth. They cannot make changes to their booth, whereas the admin is somebody who can make changes to their booth. Sorry, I just saw those come up a lot of times. So I just wanted to jump in and clarify that for everybody.
Hi, and so just to clarify, the lead retriever contributes to the number of total staffers you can have, right? Like it adds to the 3.
Retrievers
Yes.
and admins are part of the total. You have 3 total people behind the booth or in the booth.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. So I know that like they can go on to like the page and look at all the different booths, but once they click on your club and like on your booth, then like as like a separate club, you have to create like your own Zoom link and stuff. And you guys said that you could link the Zoom link within your booth, correct?
That's correct. You would need to create the Zoom meeting link in the Zoom application, and then you'll be able to link that right here under Stream Provider when you select Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. So there can be multiple people joining into your Zoom meeting, but for chats, they can be like private 2 or 3 max channels. Am I correct to understand that?
No, so there's no limit to how many private messages you can receive. So if there are 100 people in your booth and you get 100 messages, that is acceptable. There is no limit to how many people can send you a private message.
Is there a way to demo this platform with my organization to kind of see what it would be like when we go live on Wednesday?
Yeah, for sure. So once you have access to your site, you can set up a Zoom meeting and then you can test it out in the organizations and sponsors tab. So you can definitely test that out before Wednesday. You just need to have access to the site, which, like Andrew said, everyone will have access by the end of today.
Can we switch out admins if we're only allowed to have 3 in total?
You can. You would just have to remove one first before you add someone to replace them.
Got it. Thank you.
And for the Zoom link, you only put the meeting ID, is that correct, or is it different?
Yep, you would just do the meeting ID. So just when you select Zoom, there will be just like a brief instruction that's not here, but it'll just be the numbers. So it'll say J/, it'll be the numbers after that.
Is it also possible to send out the Zoom link to all the previous club members so they can attend the meeting?
Yeah, that's something you could do. That would just be done outside of the platform.
That would be great. Thank you.
Any final questions?
Yeah, I had one. I know you've been saying that the links will be sent out, but is there any way to like confirm that our org is on the list to have an email sent out, or should we just wait until tomorrow morning if we don't see one?
If you shared your org's information with Tessie and Brandon's team, then you should be getting a link. We have a list of everybody.
Okay, awesome. And then could you possibly put in the chat the contact information for if we aren't able, like if we don't receive that information for who to email in the morning?
I believe Brandon shared a contact earlier. For, like, was it Brandon? Yeah, there it is. Or
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
If you asked any questions inside of the chat and they might have been missed or something, use that Tempe Club's email and we can certainly get you those responses that you're looking for. But that being said, if you do have more questions, just reach out to us. We're available all the time. We understand that this next week is probably going to be pretty chaotic for everyone, so we just want to make sure that you all know that we are available, but we will be sharing out this recorded training tomorrow. I might even try to send it sometime tonight, just so you guys have this as soon as possible. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Other than that, thank you again for attending this training today. I know that this is a lot of information, but I honestly think that this event's going to be super impactful to the incoming Sun Devils this year and to any returning Sun Devils who are still looking to get involved. You guys are involved in something really big. We have over 600 organizations signed up for the event. So just get ready. The event's going to be fun, I promise. Try to get kind of creative in your booth if you can. And I'm just looking forward to seeing everyone next Wednesday.